The first cities. As early man started producing food, he began to lead a semi settled life. The first villages were naturally set up in the fertile river valleys. Then, man learned the use of metals like copper and bronze. Better tools and fertile lands led to the surplus production of food grains. So, some people could leave food production and shift to other crafts and trade. They moved away from the villages, which were the centers of agriculture, and set up centers of trade and commerce, which later got transformed into cities. Thus, areas which were centers of trade emerged as cities. The term civilization means a highly advanced culture with towns and cities, crafts and trade, literature, and an organized form of government. Indus Valley Civilization. The Indus Valley Civilization flourished approximately between 2500 BC and 1500 BC. However, traces were also found to exist after 1500 BC. In India, the first developed cities were found in the valley of river Indus. So, it was named Indus Valley Civilization. It is also called the Harappan civilization, as Harappa was the first site of the civilization to be excavated. Extent and main sites. The first cities of the Indus Valley to be excavated were that of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro on the banks of the river Indus. Further excavations indicated the vast extent of the civilization spread over large parts of northwestern and some parts of central India, Rajasthan, northwestern India, Sindh, and Balochistan. Nearly 150 sites of this civilization have been discovered so far. The important cities of this civilization were Harappa in Punjab and Mohenjo-daro in Sindh, both forming parts of Pakistan. A third city is at Chanudaro, about 130 kilometers south of Mohenjo-daro in Sindh, and a fourth at Lothal in Gujarat. A fifth city lay at Kalibangan in northern Rajasthan. A sixth settlement called Banavali is situated in Hisar district in Haryana. Another city of this civilization is Dholavira in Gujarat. Thus, the civilization was well spread out and covered parts of Punjab, Haryana, Sindh, Balochistan, Gujarat, Rajasthan, and western Uttar Pradesh. Special features. The town planning. Most of the cities of this civilization were divided into two parts. The western part was built on a higher ground called the citadel. The citadel had high walls which provided protection during the floods. It contained important buildings like the granary, fire altars, and the great bath of Mohenjo-daro. Most probably, the ruling class lived in the citadels. The lower town was in the eastern part. It was on the lower level than the citadel, but was larger than the citadel. It contained the houses and workplaces of the common people. Use of baked bricks. Use of baked bricks gave strength to the buildings of this civilization. Bricks were used in buildings, streets, and drains. In all their constructions, the bricks were fitted tightly making the buildings strong and rigid. The bricks were of a standard and uniform size. The use of baked bricks in the construction of their buildings was a unique achievement of the Harappan culture. Well planned houses. The residential buildings in the lower towns were strong and sturdy as they were made of baked bricks. The walls were strong and thick. Some houses were 1 or 2 story high, showing advanced knowledge of construction. Each house had a bathroom, a kitchen, and a large courtyard. Most houses had a well. It suggests that the people were aware of water conservation. Drainage system. The most special feature of these cities was their well developed drainage system. Every house had drains which were connected to the main drain of the streets. The drains were covered with stone slabs and inspection holes were provided at regular distances to clean them. Broad streets. The cities of Harappan civilization had a neat and systematic look because of their straight and broad streets. These streets cut each other at right angles. Houses were constructed on either sides of the street in an orderly manner. Covered drains ran all along the street. Roads and drains were paved with bricks. The Great Bath. A unique structure of the civilization is the famous Great Bath of Mohenjo-daro. This was a special tank made of bricks. The plaster-coated side walls were watertight due to finely fitted bricks and a thick layer of natural tar. It was connected to a well for water inlet. Used water was drained out through drains constructed in its massive walls. There were rooms on all sides. Archaeologists believe that the tank was probably used for ritual bathing during religious functions. Granaries. Large granaries have been found at Mohenjo-daro, Lothal, Kalibangan, and Harappa, which were used to store surplus grains. Blackened and charred grains have been found in these granaries. It indicates that the Harappans had surplus food grain production. Tax was probably collected in the form of grains. Life of the people, economic activity and occupations. Along with farming, people were engaged in different crafts. Pottery making was a specialized skill. A variety of pots with different designs and shapes have been found. Metalwork was one more highly advanced craft. Copper and bronze were used to make tools, weapons, ornaments, and vessels. The bronze statue of the dancing girl expresses the skill of Harappan craftsmanship. Making of gold and silver jewelry also seems to have been a highly admired craft. Bead making was another specialized craft. Beads were made from a wide variety of materials, stones like carnelian, jasper, crystal, metals like copper, bronze, and gold, shells and baked clay or terracotta. Seals are another special contribution of this civilization. They were flat, rectangular objects made of burnt clay or terracotta and faience. Terracotta was a reddish brown clay baked for making pots and toys. Faience is a man made material which was glazed to give shiny glass surfaces. They usually had animal carvings on them. They were probably used by merchants and traders to stamp their goods. Cotton weaving was also practiced. Spindle whorls to spin thread have been found in some of the Harappan sites. The craftsmen specialized in one particular craft that accounts for the excellence of the craftsmanship. Trade. Evidences suggest that trade and commerce was an important activity carried out by Indus Valley people. Harappans traded to get raw materials. They got copper from Rajasthan and even from Oman in West Asia. Tin, which was blended with copper to get bronze, was brought from Afghanistan and Iran. Gold was brought from Karnataka and precious stones from Gujarat, Iran, and Afghanistan. Seals of the Harappan culture found in Mesopotamia indicate trade contacts with them. A dockyard has been found at Lothal where boats and ships came in from the sea and through the river channel, indicating goods were loaded and unloaded here. As a large number of people lived in towns, they needed to be supplied with food. So, farmers cultivated many crops. Charred grains found at Harappan sites include wheat, barley, lentil, sesame, etc. Millets have been found from sites in Gujarat. Food production. To meet the food requirements of people of big cities, farmers living in the villages had to grow a lot of crops to supply food to the city dwellers. We know from the remains of the plants that the Harappans produced wheat, barley, pulses, peas, rice, sesame, linseed, and mustard. The toy models of the plough found at several sites suggest that Harappans must have used ploughs for farming. Historians suggest that Harappan people might have been aware of the process of irrigation. They would have stored water and supplied it to the fields. Animal bones found at Harappan sites include those of cattle, sheep, goat, buffalo, and pig indicate that these animals were domesticated. Administration. How was the active and complex civilization comprising so many cities governed? Since trading was very important, most probably the cities were administered by a committee of people consisting of rich merchants. A stone statue has been found which the archaeologists have labeled as the priest king. So, priests played an important role in administering the city. A variety of tasks such as regulation of trade, collection of taxes, maintenance of law and order was looked after by the administration. Social classes. The society was divided into different classes. The ruling class. The ruling class consisted of rich merchants and priests who enjoyed powers and privileges and lived in the citadel. The producing class. The producing class consisted of craftsmen, merchants, and scribes who lived in the lower towns. The class of laborers and peasants. Farmers were the food producers who lived in the villages around the city. Laborers who did the hard physical work lived in small huts on the outskirts of the city. Entertainment. The Harappan people were creative and knew how to amuse themselves and their children as well. Many toys, such as small clay carts, animal figures, marbles, rattles, dolls, and whistles, have been found. They also played a game similar to the modern game of chess. Many terracotta toys have been found during the excavation of the Harappan site. Script. Harappans needed to write. They had to keep accounts and write down laws, rules, and regulations. The script has been found engraved on seals. The Harappan script was pictographic. It had pictures like signs representing ideas, objects, and words. However, the script has not yet been deciphered. As a result, we have limited information regarding this civilization. Religion. Like many religions of the later times, especially Hinduism, it is believed that the Harappans may have worshipped the mother goddess. Clay images of women figures have been found in Harappa. In some Harappan seals, a male god is shown surrounded by animals like the tiger, rhinoceros, buffalo, and the elephant. Some historians believe that these are the earliest images of Shiva or Pashupati found in India. Pashupati means the lord of animals. Even today, Indians consider the peepal tree to be sacred. The Harappans seem to have believed this because many seals have been found depicting the peepal tree, which was worshipped. Amulets or tawij have been found in many places, indicating that people wore them to bring good fortune or to avert bad luck. Graves and burial sites have been found with articles such as pottery and jewelry, indicating that people believed in life after death. Decline of the civilization. The civilization flourished between 2500 BC and 1500 BC. Around 1500 BC, there were various signs of trouble. People left many of the cities. Bringing of raw materials from outside was stopped. The unique drainage system broke down. There seemed to be confusion all around. The scholars put forth various reasons for the stagnation and the subsequent decline of the Harappan civilization. Some suggest that rivers were drying up. Others think deforestation had started. Some historians say that a final blow to the civilization was given by the invasion of the Aryans. Yet, another belief is that the decline was due to natural calamities like earthquakes, floods, droughts, or epidemics.